It's just this. The sleeping is done. It's done. Get out of your bed. Conspiracies don't exist.
Okay, good day. I'd like to introduce this segment I like to call Understanding the Second Amendment, aka U.S.A. Okay. Now, first things first, I'd like to say everybody should have one of these. This is a copy of the United States Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, all the amendments, and the Articles of Confederation. And the reason why every American citizen should have one of these is because if you don't understand the organization of your government and what your government can do and cannot do, then they'll be able to do anything to you because you don't know what they are allowed to do and what they aren't allowed to do. And the Declaration of Independence is actually a good foundation for what understanding what this government can do and can't do, because what was outlined in the Declaration of Independence was everything that the king was doing that the British colonists didn't like. Okay? And if you actually understand the Declaration of Independence, you'll understand that our government today is doing some of those same things. But this is understanding the Second Amendment, so I'm not going to talk about that too long. I want to go and read the Second Amendment, okay? Because we got to take it there. We're going to take it there. You know, you got to look at the language of this, and many people seem to misunderstand the Second Amendment. I don't know why. It's pretty plain. It's plain English. I guess you would have to understand English actually in order to understand the Second Amendment. Okay, the Second Amendment, and I'm not making this up. You can see that it says Amendment 1, Amendment 2, Amendment 3. Right? Okay. Amendment 2. A well-regulated militia. We got to pause there because there's a comma. So the comma in English, means, okay, there's a separation between this and the next thing that's being said. Okay? What is a well-regulated militia? It doesn't mean an army. That's not what it means. Okay? A militia is local people. Look it up. Regional people in their regions. That's not the National Guard. That's not it. It may be applicable in some sense, but that's not it. It's local people organizing armed parties to defend their region in case of an invasion. Because during the Revolutionary War, the militias weren't well regulated and strong, and this is the reason why during the Revolutionary War, the American colonists, the British colonists, who became Americans with the Declaration of Independence, the British colonists lost a lot of battles because of not having militias and well regulated militias. But, under the guidance of God, still won. Right? But a well-regulated militia it doesn't mean a large militia. It means well-regulated, well-trained, prepared. Strict rules about what the militia can do and cannot do. Well-regulated. Just look up the definition of regulated. Not hard. Not hard to understand that. Definition couldn't have changed that much, right? Okay, so a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, comma. Okay, there's a second comma. So what that's saying is that a well-regulated militia is necessary to the security of a free state. Again, they understood this from the Revolutionary War. They needed militias in these areas, so when the invasion from the British soldiers, if they already had these well-regulated militias in these towns, they could fight back the British Army or any other invasion they would ever experience, okay? Or possibly experience, okay? Moving on. So it's, now if we exclude that clause being necessary to the security of a free state, you know, that's a description of the well-regulated militia. Let's just ignore that for now. Let's read it again. A well-regulated militia, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, comma, shall not be infringed. Not that the Constitution gives you the right to bear arms. You already have it. It just won't be infringed upon. Read it. Read it. It does not say, hey, you have a right to a well-regulated militia and to bear arms. No, it says a well-regulated militia, your ability to have one, and the right of the people to keep and bear arms. That right, the right, you already have it. It's not being granted to you. You have it. It shall not be infringed. That's what it says. Read it. Don't let people confuse you about what this is saying. And it says the right of the people to keep and bear arms. This is enclosed in two commas. It's separate from a well-regulated militia. So despite having a well-regulated militia, the right to bear and keep arms shall not be infringed outside of the well-regulated militia. So it's saying you can keep and bear arms. That's your right. We're not going to touch that. And as you keep and bear arms, you can organize into militias. We're not going to stop that either. That's what it's saying. Read it. Again, I have to say reading them, and I'm getting so aggressive because the ignorance, because this is not being taught in school. This is another problem with the education system, and I've been talking about education a lot. And it's another problem. This is not being taught this way in the schools. They don't want you to know. But it says, shall not be infringed. But let me make this another point clear, and I only got a couple minutes because the length of my YouTube videos, you know, I'm limited. But it says the right of the people to keep and bear arms. And it's the word arms is capitalized. Let me see if I can get it closer for you. I don't know if I can get it close. Nope, it's still blurry. Get you a copy. And generally in most copies, the word arms is capitalized. Arms. Well, what are arms? Arms are weapons. Not just guns. Arms are weapons. So why in some places is it illegal to have a sword? A cannon. A jet if you want to. Arms are weapons. It doesn't define guns. It doesn't say guns. It say arms. You know what guns are? They are firearms. They're a type of arms. Get it. Understand it. But they play on words and they play with your ignorance. Guns are firearms. I don't know how else I can explain it. Guns are firearms. But the Constitution says your right to keep and bear arms. Any weapon you want. You want a mace from the Middle Ages. You want a battle axe. A claymore from Scotland. Cannon. You want a cannon? Arms. Some would say, okay, Justice Green, you're a little over the top with your anger and you were a little over the top with the jet thing. Maybe I was. Maybe I was. The point is the Constitution says arms and it shall not be infringed. That means nobody can tell you you can't have weapons. Not only that, it does not say, oh, your ability to keep and bear arms is limited to your residence. Where does it say that? Where do you see that at? I don't see that. But I'm getting too angry. I gotta stop because I'm fitting to blow my top. I don't like to curse, so I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna put my Constitution back. Read it. Shall not be infringed. It doesn't grant you the right. It protects the right you already have. It shall not be touched. That's what infringe is referring to. It shall not be touched. It shall not be limited. And you have acted, and you have the right. You already have the right to keep and bear any arm you want, any weapon, whether that's firearms or other arms. Good day. Peace.
The sleeping is done, yeah, it's done. Get out of your bed, conspiracies don't exist. Are you dumb in your head? Or just let them put a gun in your head? The gun isn't there. One pull of the trigger, now the dummy is dead. You should listen when warnings are said. Too many have died. Take a second to remember the dead. Now that that's done, time for looking ahead. The truth is like food.